Events in our life shape who we are, what we do, and where we are going. Events happen in our life that, for the most part, we have no control over. But once we are removed from the event, humans tend to connect pictures, words, and images so we can remember the event. Those events make deep impressions in our being. Today I have a few items that represent my past, present, and future. What represents my past is the science fiction classic Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. My father introduced me to really good science fiction when he saw that I had some sort of interest in something he knew a lot about. Because my mom and dad were divorced and not on the best of terms, and I had my own issues with him growing up apart from him, this was an easier way to bond without us having to bring up the tender issue of the past. While this was a meager and superficial way of communication, it did help break the ice without stirring up emotions that were under the surface. But eventually it led to a stronger relationship between my father and myself. My present is represented by my Lone Star student ID card. While this is not my first college ID, this card means more to me because of my wife and son. They are one of the major reasons that I'm back in school, working harder than I've ever had to in my life. I'm juggling a full-time job, full-time school schedule, and a family. I never knew that I had it in me to do all of this. I'm back in school to earn the respect of my wife and help provide a comfortable life for her so we can, retire and move on for the future. To show my son that while we make mistakes in life, that it's never too late to make up for it, and to show him what an education can get him. With this ID, it reminds me of what I must do for them and for myself. And while the future is unknown, there is technology that shows us what is around the corner. This is a picture that came from a sonogram and is proof that my wife is expecting a little girl at the end of May. I'm becoming a father for a second time, and while I do not know if any of the tricks I learned from helping to raise our son will translate over to this new bundle of joy, I know that I will work even harder to learn any and all techniques needed to keep that little girl safe, happy, and healthy. This single picture also shows that even when the weight of life becomes too heavy to carry, that I must push on, work even harder to give even more of myself for the sake of my wife and the children. Thank you. And I'm going to open this up to a little Q&A. Any questions? Anyone? All right, Brian?
That book that you had, the Orson Scott Card, how do you feel about that book now that you're grown up, and how does it still influence you today?
It was a powerful book for me, being a young kid reading it in junior high when high school kids were reading it. But because of that strong bond that I had with my father, because of that book, Orson Scott Card became my favorite author of all time, and because of that, we named our first son Orson after him. So, I hope that answers it. Anyone else? Yes, you.
How has your relationship with your dad changed since you became a dad?
It's gotten stronger. I understand him and his ways better than I ever thought I could. I've let go of the things I've blamed him for, and I think it's really helped us move along with friendship a father and son should have. So, anyone else? Yes.
I would like to know how you feel about having a little girl as a daughter in your life.
While I'm very excited, you know, when we were having our first kid, you know, I thought it'd be easy. You know, ignorance is bliss, and having a little girl is terrifying. But I think I'll be able to rise to the occasion and hopefully prove to be a positive role model for her. So, all right, I think that about does it. Thank you once again.